Now you can catch some of our Stories of the Upstate episodes Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on 99.5 Chuck FM.
Stories of the Upstate, oh, oh. Stories of the Upstate, oh, oh, oh.
We're really serious about growing our show, and we can't do it without you. If you like what you're hearing, and we hope you do, then take a few seconds to post a link to the show on your Facebook and Twitter. It would be a great help. Now on with the show.
Personal interviews.
Background biographies. Let's peel back the onion.
Personal stories directly from the people about their passions. Welcome to Stories of the Upstate.
Stories of the Upstate.
Welcome to Stories of the Upstate. My name is Lloyd Ford, and I am fortunate because I get to introduce our listeners to interesting people in upstate South Carolina with every single episode that we do of Stories of the Upstate. Now listen up. Our show is made of very special ingredients: careers, wisdom, family, and value itself. You have those things, right? Of course you do. And once a month, we launch a free concert. It's called the Downtown Jam. It features 3 to 6 local singer-songwriters in the round with their guitars and original songs. But this right here, this is our interview program where I determine the questions and never the answers. That's left to our guest. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Stories of the Upstate and subscribe to our shows for free on your smartphone. Just go to your app store and search for Stories of the Upstate on iTunes or grab the free Stitcher app. It's free for you right there. Just look us up inside the Stitcher app when you download it. Today's guest is a singer-songwriter into music big time. They spend a lot of quality time. Their hobby, they said, is children. Their hobbies, children. I'm sure there's going to be an explainer for that. We'll talk about that. But listen, you know this. There are always hidden turns in every person's life. You've heard this before. Be kinder than you have to be. You really don't know what's happening in another person's life. This show is about exploring that and getting to know the personality of upstate South Carolina, one person at a time. We get started with today's episode, and you meet today's guest next.
Hi, I'm Teresa Ford with Great Upstate Properties in Keller Williams, Greenville Central. Did you know that there's over 2,000 realtors in the Upstate? But what we know is that most people don't really want to be sold a home. They want help, and they want to feel that the professionals helping them buy or sell their home have the marketing mojo behind them to make things happen. That's what we do at Great Upstate Properties, because what you're doing with real estate has more to do with you, what you want, and what your family needs. That's our focus. I'd love to share with you how we can help your family find the right home.
Reach out and connect with Great Upstate Properties right now, 864-448-4169, 864-448-4169. We already know that today's guest admires, are you ready for this? I think you need to know this. Our guest today admires Dolly Parton. My gosh, who doesn't, right? The number one place in the world that they would like to travel, but they've not been to, is Branson, Missouri. And today's guest, if they could wave a magic wand and pick up any skill, they said this, what they would like to pick up would be able to talk better, I'd like to be able to do that myself. Before we formally introduce you, would you please tell us, where were you born and what was it like to be you as a kid?
I was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina. As a child, we were raised in church. From the time I was 2 years old, I was singing in a gospel quartet with my family, doing 4-part harmony, traveling from Georgia all the way to Henrietta, North Carolina, singing at tent revivals, family gatherings, you name it, we sang at it.
Wait a minute, wait. So the music thing goes way back with you, and I'm thinking of like the old Steve Martin movie where he was the evangelist, and they would go from town to town, they would set the tent up, and they would have a big revival. You've done this?
We didn't set up the tents per se, but we traveled. We provided the music. My dad did the preaching. They took up a love offering from us, and we'd go to the next town.
That's got to be interesting. Now, brothers, sisters, what do we got? Who are all the players? Let's say that.
I am the baby of the family. I have a brother who's 13 years older than me and another brother that's 2 years older than me. And then I'm the only girl and the baby.
All right, you got to answer this because I always ask this when people self-identify as the baby. By the way, I want to say this in advance in case you think I'm picking on you. I'm the baby in my family. If you're the baby, are you spoiled?
Yes.
Okay, well, I had to get that right out there. All right, so tell us something about you as a teenager that might surprise the people who know you today. Think about the people around you now, and then think back to you as a teenager. What might surprise those people?
As a teenager, I was stuck in school doing everything music. I was first chair saxophone in the marching band at Broome High School. I was first chair violinist in the orchestra at Cowpens Middle School. I got my first guitar when I was 6, but I started writing songs and wanting to learn more about how to sing different genres when I was about 14, 15.
Now, wait a minute. It's one thing to say, all right, I picked up a guitar and, I know 3 chords on a guitar, right? But, like, if you handed me the guitar that you have right now, you would quickly go, please give it back. Please give it back. You're embarrassing yourself and others. But you're talking about the violin and other instruments. Those are instruments that take some very serious aptitude, and especially when you're young, how'd that make you feel?
Well, it was normal in my family. I took piano lessons at Converse College. We all did. We were all taught how to play the guitar by my dad, and we would all swap. So I would pick up the bass on one song. The next song I might be playing the guitar. I might be playing the violin on the next one. So we all kind of just went in a circle, swapping instruments around.
Oh, that brings me to, and I know that you're big into country music. Will the circle be unbroken, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now you're going to break it down for us for real. I want your name, your serial number. No, it's not like that. Tell us your name and your current role in Upstate South Carolina today.
My name is Lecretia Robinson. I am singer-songwriter for the Thunder Road Band out of Cowpens. And Monday through Friday, you can find me as a receptionist for a local business.
All right, so you're doing a little bit of that, and if you really want to see some fun, you go out and see you play with the Thunder
Road Band.
Thunder Road Band. And listen, usually we talk to people about their jobs, right? We say, all right, well, tell us about your work and all that. We don't do that with musicians. You know what we do with musicians?
What is that?
We ask, will you play a song for us?
I will.
Here we go on Stories of the Upstate.
Do you hear me? I'm begging you to leave me alone. Just turn around and be kind.
Lecretia, you wrote that song?
I did.
I'm sorry, I got to ask that again. Lecretia, you wrote that song?
I did when I was 16.
You wrote that song when you were 16 years old?
I did.
Tell me about that experience. What in the world? I mean, look, one of the fundamental things about this program is that we plunge into somebody's life. You cannot be affected once you hear that song for a variety of reasons, but walk us through it, please.
When I was 16, I was getting into listening to Jesse Coulter and a lot of the outlaw women that, were just, you cheat on them and they are, you're going to hear about it in the end. And at 16, I was not, handed that deck of cards to play. Nobody had cheated on me. Nobody had done me wrong at 16. But I could hear what they were going through in, watching Coal Miner's Daughter, watching Loretta drag Doolittle out of the car. You're coming home with me, And when I wrote that, I remember I sang it to two people, and they told me that was the stupidest song that they had ever heard. So I never sang it again. And last year we went to Nashville on vacation, and we were up in the condo on 2nd Avenue having a good time. And I said, well, I'm going to sing y'all about the stupidest song I've ever written. And I sang 3 to them, and nobody said a word when it was done. And then they all kind of lost their minds for a few minutes and told me that was the best song they had ever heard. And I was like, well, I guess it's time to pull it out, because I'd never performed it until last year.
Seriously, so that just, I will take a moment right there and just say, that's a moment where we can all go, you have negative people in your life. You share something vulnerable with them, and people always want to criticize, right? And then that happens, and boom, you put that song away for how long?
It's been 13 years since I've written it. Before.
No, and nobody heard it.
No.
And it's just a fluke that you just pulled it out.
Yes.
There it is, stupidest song right there. And you can tell it affected us in the room here, and I hope it affected you the same way. Listen, you do this for us. You write these songs. You don't just write them. You and your husband, you go out and play them, and you have this band. Take us backstage a little bit. Tell us what it's really like to live this life and do this work as a musician.
It is nerve-wracking in the best way possible. I told my husband a few months ago that it's a roller coaster of emotions. You can be handed an eviction notice, and then you got to go play a show, and everybody's clapping and making you feel like you're on top of the world. But backstage there's so much work into it. There's the booking side of it. You have to keep Facebook updated and Twitter and the website and getting merchandise and you're trying to talk yourself up to get more jobs, but that's what you have to do to be able to.
No, wait a minute. People always think, all right, it's big to go up on the stage, and they just see that part of it. It's glamorous. I mean, there you are. They go out to see your show, but what you're saying is they're missing the back part where you're like, okay, well, here's what the big star does. I'm back here doing the grunge work, right?
Yeah, basically. We've had flat tires. No air conditioner in the car. The windows don't roll down. You name it, griping all the way to the show that, oh, my makeup has melted off my face. My hair has fallen. And then you get up on stage and, none of that bothers you anymore.
Well, no, I'm gonna make this reference only because I know that you will get it, because you already sort of mentioned her. Does this make you feel just a little bit? Because I know that you'll get this reference right away, that you have a little bit in common with Loretta Lynn, because she did all that.
Oh yeah, growing up, we didn't have a whole lot. My dad was disabled, and we entertained ourselves by pulling out the guitars, by the one lamp in the living room.
All right, so tell us this. Sometimes we have people who listen to the program, and they'll hear somebody like you on the program, and they'll be struck. They'll sort of be dumbstruck by it. They'll be like, "Oh, you know what? this is my moment. I hear her. I hear that she's from around here. She is writing her own song. She's doing her own thing. I want to do it too. What's the path? How do I become you? How do I write my own songs, and how do I go and gig? How do I go and get people to pay me to go sing?
The thing that I think matters the most is if you're writing your own material and you touch one person, just one, it makes it all worthwhile. So if you can write and get your emotions and get your feelings out, and somebody else benefits from listening to it, then it's all worthwhile. You need to go do it. You need to.
So wait. So that's a good start. But how do you connect the dots and go from that to performing live in front of people for like for money, really?
I mean, really, you just have to just stay at it. Go out, see what's going on around town. Do your homework. Social media is the best thing to find out where everybody's going to be, who's going to be where. Go find out not what your competition is, but what's big in the area, and if you'll fit in that area.
Okay, so you got to tell us this. We're going to go back in the Wayback Machine a little bit for you. We like to talk about education on the program because we feel like education is the basic building block of a person's character. So the way we do it on Stories of the Upstate is we do this. It's pretty simple. You have a favorite teacher ever? And if you do, who is that teacher and why were they your favorite?
Miss Leanne Moore. It was at Cowpens Middle School. She was actually my band director. But she taught you anything from etiquette to how to play your instrument correctly to life lessons. I know Columbine and everything happened when I was in there, and she would go over and talk with us about emotions and how we can bring things out. And she was just a well-rounded teacher. It wasn't teaching me how to add or tie my shoe, anything like that, but she taught a lot of life lessons that when you're 13, 14 years old in middle school, she was there when we needed her.
A lot of people don't know you carry things around with you. You're in middle school. I mean, these things don't come up, and then they do. Columbine, that's pretty big. That must have impacted everybody around you, and maybe it affected your music some too. You don't know.
Yeah. All that shaped us, and I remember I was in her band class when the planes hit the towers on 9/11, and she talked to us like we were adults, not that we were any below her or not on the same level at all. She talked to us and just told us what was real and didn't try to make up anything.
All right, so now I'm going to shift gears on you a little bit because we've gotten so serious. You have a favorite comedian?
Yes, it's Bill Engvall.
Oh, interesting. He's a funny guy, right?
Simple, but he's clean, and it's something I don't mind sitting down watching, and I don't have to wait till the kids go to bed to do.
That's right. You can enjoy it with them. This is our personal interest round. I'd like to know, and our listeners would like to know, what is the first television show that you remember capturing your attention as a kid? Go.
Growing up, it was Hee Haw. I watched every episode. We had them all on VHS. Now it's went to DVD, but it was Hee Haw.
Wait a minute, you don't have to do it, but could you do the song?
Which one?
You know the song.
Hee Haw.
That ain't the song. Her husband, just so you know, her husband is in the room, and that ain't the song. It's the You Was Gone.
I don't do that one.
You don't do that song?
We don't do that one.
We have somebody on the program who wait a minute. We have somebody on the program who loves Dolly Parton and will not do the You Was Gone song from Hee Haw. That's interesting. What's a fun fact about you that people don't know, but they should know?
Fun fact, I'm a survivor. And I know that's very broad, but I'm 29 years old. I had a blood clot on my brain at 27 that caused me to have a stroke. I'm a cancer survivor. And so that would be my fun fact, that I've been through a lot, and I still smile through it.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Most people wouldn't say that cancer survivor is a fun fact, but I've had cancer touch my family, and I'm going to tell you right now that is a rock star fun fact. So I will put that up high for sure. Listen, here's one for you that cannot be too serious, I suppose. What is your all-time favorite breakfast cereal?
Captain Crunch mixed berries.
Really?
That's my supper some nights.
Oh, no, whoa. Wait a minute. Usually I follow up and I go, when's the last time you had that? But you just said sometimes you have it for supper. When's the last time you had that?
Last night.
Gosh almighty, Lecretia. We're talking to Lecretia Robinson. She is the real Mrs. Robinson. Look it up. You'll be okay. If tomorrow you're suddenly found not doing what you're doing today for a living, it's all gone, right? What do you think is in your heart? In other words, what do you walk out the door tomorrow morning? What do you think you would like to attempt?
I would like to work with a battered women's shelter, something that, rape victims, beaten victims that, were abused by people in their families. So that's what I would like to do.
Our favorite foodie question on this program is pretty simple. We think the way to a man or a woman's heart is through his or her stomach. If you could order the last meal you're ever going to eat today, sounds kind of sad, right? But it's not. It's a festive. It's like a feast, including dessert. What would be the last meal that you would order?
A chili cheeseburger, sweet potato fries, and pecan pie.
I want you to notice that she had that right off the tip of her tongue. She knew exactly what she wanted. Well, favorite artist, singer, music, band for you? This got to be big.
Locally?
Well, you know what? You can give me a little local. You can give me a little all-time. You can give me a little anything you want.
Locally, the Piedmont Boys, were really good friends with them. We listen to them. We support them. And the Anna Lee Band in South 85, we're all really good friends. Right now, what's on my playlist would be Chris Stapleton, Dolly Parton, Patti Loveless. I mean, I go from the olds to the news.
All right, very good. Listen, in your group of friends today, you are that person in your group of friends that's famous for blank. What is blank?
Laughing.
What?
I'm always laughing. It don't matter. It might be serious. I'm still laughing.
All right, so she's a laugher, and listen, listening to this program now or in the future, somebody that pops on, they listen to this either in our archive when it launches or immediately when it goes up. How can they get involved with you directly? In other words, how do we reach out and get a little Thunder Road, if you will?
You can go to our website, thethunderroadband.com. We are on Facebook, Silas and Lecretia with the Thunder Road Band.
All right, so that's a good place to get you. And this is a little bit more serious question for you, too. We know that time travel isn't possible, or at least to us. We don't think it's possible. But this interview is being recorded. If you could say something to your children right now and have them hear it in the future, what do you think you might like to share with them?
To always try your hardest, never give up, and then I'll always love you.
I will always love you. That's straight out of Dolly Partonville, no doubt. Give us an idea of an attraction inside upstate South Carolina that does it for you. We always end up on these top 5 or top 10 lists, it seems. But look, somebody comes to visit you, right? She is crying right now a little bit. I guess we got you a little bit with that you're thinking about the kids, aren't you?
I am. They mean everything to us.
I understand. An attraction inside upstate South Carolina that does it for you?
I guess we always take them to the Mighty Moo.
The Mighty Moo?
Do you know what the Mighty Moo is?
Oh, you got to educate me. Come on, bring it.
It is a festival, like a beginning of summer festival in Cowpens. Happens every year, the third weekend in June. And it's to celebrate, we have a aircraft carrier, the USS Cowpens. And all the men that served on that, we have a parade, street dances. Our friends with Dirty Grass Soul are actually going to play there on the Friday night. And we go out there, have carnival rides, hot dogs, slushies, you name it. It's a fun, family-oriented place for us to go, and we try to take people every year.
All right, so if you missed it this year, you know that it happens every year, so you got to get on board. You call it Mighty Moo, right?
The Mighty Moo Festival.
All right, that's how to bring the local for sure. Listen, when you go on vacation, right, we're going to pull the ripcord. We're going to get away from everybody. Hopefully we will not take our cell phone with us. God, I sound like my mother there for a minute. When you go on vacation outside the upstate, where is the spot?
I like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. That's my favorite. Or anything by a river. That's our spot.
Oh, I totally agree with that. There's some places in West Virginia that are knocked out beautiful too. You've been up there?
No, he has. He was actually stationed in Norfolk. So
I don't know if they have any awesome rivers over there, but I listen. Let's get serious just one more time. I know that you see a lot in your daily life, and you know, I mean, things for you. You started out doing these revivals, and your life has progressed. You see people all the time, and you sing them songs. And is there something important here inside upstate South Carolina that you think does not get the attention it deserves? If so, can you please tell us what that is?
It's funny. We actually talked about this a few months ago. We watched a movie called Crazy, and had Hank Garland. It was the life and time of Hank Garland, and he's from Cowpens. And there is, no monument, there's a little placard on the little walk in Spartanburg of all the musicians and famous people. But I think Cowpens being as small and as hometown as we are, I think there should have been something about him in there because he made it.
That's right. It's interesting. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on Stories of the Upstate.
Thank you for having me.
We're not done with you yet. We got one more question for you before you go. Up next is our famous Words of Wisdom feature. Now, listen, it's half the reason we do the program. Lecretia, I want you to think about this. These are the wisest words you've ever heard. We're going to try to get those from you next.
A shiny floor or a dirty floor can make a big difference in how local customers see your business, and that can mean money to you. Customers stop coming by if they see your floors are nasty or even dull. We're supported by Make It Shine Floor Care. They make your floors shine every time. Clean floors are actually the sign of a great business. Call them, 864-907-3505. Make It Shine Floor Care.
We call this feature on Stories of the Upstate Words of Wisdom. Let me tell you why that is. It's because that's exactly what they are. What we're looking for is advice, perhaps the wisest words you've ever heard. Would you please share with us your words of wisdom? And if you want, please tell us who gave you these words.
When I was in middle school and they were trying to help us find our career that we would be best fit in, and I remember the teacher looking at us and said, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I believe that. I don't feel like I'm getting up to go to work when we walk on stage. It is work. There's a lot of work put into it, but it's too much fun. It overrides it.
Stories of the Upstate is from greatupstate.com and is also a podcast on both iTunes and the Stitcher app, available in your app store on your smartphone. Our show is produced by Eric G. Wood. Intro produced by Paul Orr Productions. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Stories of the Upstate. You can also hear Stories of the Upstate anytime on any computer by going directly to greatupstate.com. Stories of the Upstate is copyright 21st Century Tredegar.
Stories of the Upstate. Stories of the Upstate.